This video is part 4 of section R.7, Rational Expressions. Example 6. So we said we're going to use the least common multiple method of finding a common denominator when we want to add and subtract rational expressions. So in example 6, that's all we're doing, is finding the least common multiple, which is also going to be our least common denominator, for the two rational expressions given. So let's look at part A. And in A, what our direction said on the previous page was to factor the denominators. So the first denominator is 16 x squared y cubed. And we're going to prime factor this, which means we're going to write 16 as a prime number to a power, or a product of primes, and 16 happens to be 2 to the 4th power. Then we have our x squared and our y cubed. Let's do the same for the other denominator, 56x y to the 4th. 56 is 8 times 7, and 8 is not a prime number. 8 is written as 2 cubed. 7 is a prime number. So 2 cubed times 7 is 56, and then we have our x to the 1st and our y to the 4th. So what the direction said is that our least common multiple, or least common denominator, same thing, of these two denominators would be each different factor we found. What are the different ones we found? We found a 2, we found a 7, we found an x, we found a y. Those are the factors. To the greatest power, we found it. So we found 2 to the 4th, 2 to the 3rd. The greatest of those is 4. We found 7 to the 1st, so the greatest for 7 is 1. We found x to the 1st, x squared, the greatest there would be 2. And we found y to the 4th, y to the 3rd, the greatest there would be 4. So we could ultimately then multiply this out to find out what that number is, and 2 to the 4th, or 16 times 7, is 112 x squared y to the 4th. This would be the lowest expression that both of these would divide into evenly. That's why we have to go with the highest power, so they will divide into this evenly. Okay, let's look at part B. Again, factor the denominators. We have x squared minus x minus 2. That will factor to x minus 2, x plus 1. And we have x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x. Well, the first thing we can do is take out a GCF. They all have an x. So we have x squared minus 4x plus 4. And then further factor that trinomial, x, and what would that be? X minus 2 times x minus 2. But remember, we're trying to find the highest power on our factors, so I'm going to write, instead of x minus 2 times x minus 2, I'm going to write that as x minus 2 squared. So the LCM for these two is each different factor I found. Let's see, I found an x, I found an x minus 2, and an x plus 1. Those are the different factors. The highest power on x was just 1. The highest power on x minus 2 was 2, right here. And the highest power on x plus 1 was 1. So that's my LCM for these two. And we'll complete example 7 in the next video.